So, it's time for my Christmas game. Well, here we go. My original ambition and ideas. Okay, so this game is basically an expansion of my Halloween game. The game still takes place in Chicago Homes, but you play in a specific biome called the Volcanic Ashlands. I planned to make one level, and for the most part, I was able to add everything I hoped to. I did end up scrapping the checkpoint system, as I did not have the time to program that in. This was mostly due to Canvas not showing me the videos that one of my tiers had posted. I did not include the snares as it seemed to overly complicate the gameplay whilst I was programming the game, as Toxin seemed to work fine on its own. Also, I mentioned in the pre-production document about that the vampiric spider was meant to dash towards the player. I did not know how to program that in, and I could have made it so the player immediately teleported back to spawn, but as I previously said, the snares would have overly complicated the gameplay, so I thought there was no point in including them. Aside from those two features, I was able to include everything else. I've added 3 enemies to the game: Yolanta, Toxin, and the vampiric spider, who I will refer to as VS Wolf from now on. All these enemies have sprites with 6 frames per second. I said in the pre-production doc that I wanted Yolanta to use the environment to its advantage and burrow beneath the snow to hide from the player. To achieve this, I made 3 different sets of animations, which I neatly packed into the final paper flip book to look fluent. As you can see in the first right here, Yolanta burrows beneath the snow sprites to make itself hard to see. How Yolanta's AI works is that when it bumps into an edge, it moves in the opposite direction. Additionally, when its hitbox touches the player, it will teleport the player back to spawn and remove a life. The life part is not significant because it programs the player to have 99 lives, which is essentially infinite lives. Aside from a minor inconvenience where Yolanta wisdom does not work properly, which I fixed, Yolanta works exactly how I imagined it to, and I could not have hoped for a better result. I should note though that this AI was already existing on the template and I did not program it myself. When discussing Toxin and VS, I'm going to group them together because they function identically and have the exact same AI. The only difference is that they have different sprites. Unlike Yolanta that uses an existing AI, I have used a sequence player to get these two to move. I animated the sequence player all by myself. Similarly to Yolanta, they both send you back to the start and remove a life when touched. This is because they have a trigger volume attached to them, and the level code tells them to carry out the aforementioned function. I animated the sequence players in a way which makes them go back and forth. For Toxin's case, on the platforms. In VS's case, it's web. You may have noticed from the gameplay and this image that we are missing a Toxin here. I did have it originally, but I had to remove it as for some reason the sequence player in the area was broken and I couldn't figure out how to fix it. So I had to just completely just scrap it. Moving on to the player. The player character has 3 sets of animation. Jump, walking, and idle, with the jumping animation having 8 frames instead of 6. And jumping sound will play when the player jumps. The UI screen is centered around the player, and if the player interacts with a coin, the score will increase by 1. The player has 99 lives, and when these lives run out, they will be taken to the game over screen. Note, I didn't bother changing the game over from the template as the player has practically infinite lives, and I feared it didn't matter. Other minor mechanics / code. There are coins scattered throughout the level. When the player interacts with them, they will gain a score, and the coin will destroy itself. When the player interacts with the win item, it will teleport the player to the win screen. Level design. Overall, I'm satisfied with the level design. I did run into a minor instance when Unreal closed, as it was being updated on the Collage laptops, and I lost a significant amount of process. However, it didn't matter in the end, and as I was able to add it all again. I was able to mimic the level design from my pre-production doc almost perfectly. Minus a few exploits in the level, the gameplay functions well. It is a bit challenging but rewarding when you complete it. I am satisfied with how the sprites look, but I'm not pleased with the tile set. The tile set looks unnatural and does not synchronize well with itself, and ends up really distracting to look at. I'm also unsure about my background, as it looks subpar compared to what my classmates have done. I am pleased with the snow in the background though. Issues with the final game. I'm not going to hide the fact that there are issues with the game, and there are very strange ones too. First, you need to press the start button on the keyboard in order to actually use the cursor. For the start screen, I did not know how to program a free mouse control feature in hindsight. I should have asked my tutors how to do it. You can still start the game by pressing enter, and to go to the credits by pressing Z. However, this brings us onto the next problem, which is really odd. When I export the game to an exe file, something strange happens to the credit scene. How it's supposed to work is when the credits map is opened, there's supposed to be a widget uncovering the screen, which lists everything. When I tested it in Unreal, it worked perfectly fine. However, for some reason, when I opened it in the exe file, the widget did not show up. I don't know what the issue is, and there does not appear to be any errors in the code. I attempted to fix this issue by removing parts of the code, but this did not fix anything. Here is the full code on screen now. Conclusion. Whilst this project had some ups and downs, I am happy with what I have made. I was able to execute Iglonto the way I envisioned it and achieves the same with VS and Toxin. What the level design is possible, and the game, for the most part, functions as intended. There is room for improvement, though, and I hope that I will be able to fix the problems with my game and make a better one.